ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Yes,
Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 18, Pṛthu Mahārāja milks the planet Earth. Thank you, Murti Krishna Prabhu. Hari Hari. So, we are in the section where we are studying that Bhumi Devi, Earth advising Pṛthu on the methods of milking her. And the next section is going to be more elaborate and describing who is the milk, what is the pot, who is the vatsa, and everything else. But now she is advising here to Maharaj Pṛthu. So we are at text 9 and 10. One second. Yeah, text 9. Vatsam kalpaya me veera yenaham vatsalat tava dhyokshe kshiramayan kaman anurupam chadohanam दोग्धारं च महाभावो भूतानां भूतभावनः अन्नमीप्सितमूर्जावत् भगवान् वाञ्छते यदि. Translation.
O great hero, protector of living entities, if you desire to relieve the living entities by supplying them sufficient grain, and if you desire to nourish them by taking milk from me, you should make arrangements to bring a calf suitable for this purpose, and a pot in which the milk can be kept, as well as a milkman to do the work. Since I will be very much affectionate towards my calf, your desire to take milk from me will be fulfilled. Purport. These are nice instructions for milking a cow. The cow must first have a calf so that out of affection for the calf, she will voluntarily give sufficient milk. There must also be an expert milkman and a suitable pot in which to keep the milk. Just as a cow cannot deliver sufficient milk without being affectionate to her calf, the earth cannot produce sufficient necessities without feeling affection for those who are Krishna conscious. Even though the earth's being in the shape of a cow may be taken figuratively, the meaning herein is very explicit. Just as a calf can derive milk from a cow, all living entities, including animals, birds, bees, reptiles, and aquatics, can receive their respective foods from the planet Earth. provided that human beings are not asat or adhruto vrataha, as we have previously discussed. When human society becomes asat or ungodly or devoid of Krishna consciousness, the entire world suffers. If human beings are well behaved, animals will also receive sufficient food and be happy. The ungodly human being, ignorant of his duty to give protection and food to the animals, kills them to compensate for the insufficient production of grains. Thus, no one is satisfied, and that is the cause for the present condition in today's world. Hare Krishna.
Mother Earth says, O Veera, O great hero, O protector of living entities. She is addressing to Mahārāja Pṛthu. Please arrange a suitable calf, pot, and the expert milkman, Dogdaram cha Mahabaho, Bhutanam Bhuta Bhavana. And then, being very much affectionate towards my calf, I will fulfill your desires in the form of different types of the milk. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains these are very nice instructions for milking a cow. A cow must first have a calf so that out of affection, the cow will voluntarily will give the milk. Okay, the word, very important, two words are here, affection and voluntary, right? And this is the royal way of receiving blessings from the seniors, This is the royal way to receive blessings. That they should feel, our behavior should be such that people should feel affectionate towards us, and automatically the blessings should flow from them. Right. And Prabhupada says here, just as the cow cannot deliver sufficient milk without being affectionate towards her calf, the earth cannot produce the sufficient necessities without feeling that great affection to the Krishna conscious, godly living entities. Right. And this is also important. Prabhupada says it may be taken figuratively, symbolically here, that Mother Earth is like a cow, but the message is very clear. The message is that the living entity has to be asat, has to be sat, and not go to the platform of asat or ungodly or devoid of Krishna consciousness. If that happens, everything suffers. Just like, for the fault of the leader, all the followers also suffer. Similarly, the human being being the leader of all the species, the fault of the human being, all other living entities also will suffer. Coming back to the milk, there are many good, there is a great awareness nowadays about ahimsa milk, A2 milk, and there is, the milk which are like cows. Ahimsa milk is one milk where, the cows are maintained even after they stop giving milk, and therefore this milk will be slightly costly. A2 milk is also, A2 milk has its own thing. There are many initiatives. If you go, there is ahimsa milk is there. There is humbly, there is one more startup, humbly milk. So, and we have to support this. It will, of course, they will ask for a little premium price for but that cost is going to go for the maintaining of the cows. And one has to support these causes progressively as we become more settled in our life, and when there is a little bit of stability and prosperity, money should go in these directions as well. Right. Text 11. Samam chakurumam rajan devavristam yathapayah aparutau api bhadram te upavarte tame vibho. Translation.
Translation. My dear king, may I inform you that you have to make the entire surface of the globe level. This will help me even when the rainy season has ceased. Rainfall comes by the mercy of King Indra. Rainfall will remain on the surface of the globe, always keeping the earth moistened, and thus it will be auspicious for all kinds of production. Purport. King Indra of the heavenly planets is in charge of throwing thunderbolts and giving rainfall. Generally, thunderbolts are thrown on the tops of hills in order to break them to pieces. As these pieces are spread asunder in due course of time, the surface of the globe gradually becomes fit for agriculture. Level land is specially conducive to the production of grain. Thus, the planet Earth requested Mahārāja Pṛthu to level the surface of the earth, breaking up the high land and mountains. Hare Krishna.
Now further, Mahi, that is Dhara, she is addressing. She is saying that, my dear king, make sure that the surface of the globe is flattened so that the rainfall which comes by the apavartatapi bhadramte, which is coming by the mercy of King Indra, will remain on the globe, and thus the earth will be moistened and it will be sufficient, auspicious for all types of productions. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, King Indra is in charge of throwing the thunders and giving rainfall. So the thunders will be thrown on the mountain peak so that the land can be leveled, and then sufficient rains will be provided. And then the leveled land will have the better capacity to hold the moisture, to produce the grains. And this is how parasparam bhavayanto one can advance in one's life. Now, these are the advice by earth, how to milk her. Now, next, from text 12 to 28, Pṛthu and others, they are going to milk Mother Earth for different types of the milks. Text 12. इति प्रियं हितं वाक्यं भुव आदाय भूपतिः वत्सं कृत्वा मनुं पाणौ अदुहत् सकलौषधी. Translation.
After hearing the auspicious and pleasing words of the planet Earth, the king accepted them. He then transformed Svāyambhuva Manu into a calf and milked all the herbs and grains from the earth in the form of a cow, keeping them in his cupped hands. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So these are the words. How are the words? Iti priyam hitam cha vakyam. Right? So these are there is in Bhagavad Gita, there is a austerity of the speech. And austerity of the speech, what is that verse? 17.20, 15, 16, 17, 15, 16, 14, 15, 16, 17.16. And where it is priyahitam chavat, right? So this is the austerity of the speech. The austerity of the speech is, one second. Anudvegakaram vakyam. So this is the previous verse, text 16. One second. This is 17.15. Bhagavad Gita 17.15. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapauchyate. So vangmaya tap, the tapasya of the Vani is to speak anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat. So here you see the same words. Priyam hitam vakyam satyam. All these true statements displeased the king in a big way. Now look at the situation. The king was ready to kill Mother Earth and threatening that I will, make you into a dust. And even if you fall in the Garbhoda ocean, I will hold living entities with my force. And now, by these, the anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat. So the speech has tremendous potency to do or undo, the situation. Most of the quarrels, most of the fights, they don't begin because what is being spoken, but it begins by how it is being spoken. 90% of the problem is how we convey our point. 90% of the problem. 10% is what we are conveying, right? So that how is very, very important. How is very, very important. There is a beautiful rule for how, and that rule is called as, always convey why before what in a very pleasing way. Okay, maybe sometime later we will discuss on this. But how we speak is extremely important. Text 13. Of course, I stress on this so that I will speak properly. Okay. तथा परे च सर्वत्र सारम् आददते भूया बुधाः ततोऽन्ये च यथा कामं दुदुः पृथुभाविताम्. Translation.
Others who were as intelligent as King Pṛthu also took the essence out of the earthly planet. Indeed, everyone took this opportunity to follow in the footsteps of King Pṛthu and get whatever he desired from the planet Earth. Purport: the planet Earth is also called Vasundhara. The word Vasu means wealth and Dhara means one who holds. All creatures within the earth fulfill the necessities required for human beings, and all living entities can be taken out of the earth by the proper means. As suggested by the planet Earth and accepted and initiated by King Pṛthu, whatever is taken from the earth, either from the mines, from the surface of the globe, or from the atmosphere, should always be considered the prosperity of the Supreme Personality, property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and should be used for yajña, Lord Viṣṇu. As soon as the process of yajna is stopped, the earth will withhold all productions, vegetables, trees, plants, fruits, flowers, and other agriculture products and minerals. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, the process of yajna was instituted from the beginning of creation. By the regular performance of yajna, the equal distribution of wealth and the restriction of sense gratification, the entire world will be made peaceful and prosperous. As already mentioned, in this age of Kali, the simple performance of Sankirtana Yajna, the holding of festivals as initiated by the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, should be introduced in every town and village. Intelligent men should encourage the performance of Sankirtana Yajna by their personal behavior. This means that they should follow the process of austerity by restricting themselves from illicit sex life, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. If the intelligent men or the Brahmanas of society would follow the rules and regulations, certainly the entire face of this present world, which is in such chaotic condition, would change and people would be happy and prosperous.
Following the example of Mahārāja Pṛthu, different personalities, they also came forward, and everyone took this opportunity to follow the footsteps of the king and thus milk the planet Earth. Right? So different personalities now they are going to come forward. The sages, Devata, Daitya, Gandharva, Pitara, Siddha, Vidyadhara, Kimpurusha, Yakshas, all these personalities, even the trees and the birds, tree personified, bird personified, they are coming forward and making one of them a scarf, having a suitable pot, and extracting the proper milk for well-being of everyone. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, planet Earth is also known as Vasundhara. Vasu means the wealth, and Dhara means one who is holding the wealth. So Vasundhara means the planet Earth, which is reservoir of great wealth. And it was suggested by planet Earth, and it was accepted and initiated by King Pṛthu, the right process of milking the cow, milking the planet Earth. So Prabhupada says, whatever we receive, see, we receive basically from two sources. One is from the top, that is the sun, that is the sunshine from the sun, or from the bottom, we are going to receive it from Mother Earth. And there is no third source, right? So whatever we receive is actually being received by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And therefore, whatever we receive, the process is that it has to be offered in the form of a yajna. What is the meaning of offer in the form of a yajna? That means being grateful for having that opportunity to receive the wealth and utilizing a part of the wealth to express one's gratitude and thus purifying our entire wealth. This is the meaning of, the yajna. And this yajna is not a new concept. Prabhupada says, Puro Srishta, very early in the beginning of the creation, this yajna was introduced. And the Bhagavad Gita very clearly describes this. Puro Srishta, And Kali Yuga, the yajna has become extremely simple, very delightful, absolutely tatra arpita niyamitaha nasmarane na kalaha. And that yajna is Sankirtana yajna. Correct. You know that. And the intelligent people should engage in Sankirtan Yajna. In Pune, this is like first time in the history of ISKCON, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu has introduced 3 times Harinam Sankirtan in a day. 2 times in the morning and 1 time in the evening. And Radhesham Prabhu says that I very strongly urging congregation to go for Harinam Sankirtan at least once a month. If not at least once a year on your happy birthday, go for Harinam Sankirtan, because that is the real Sankirtan and people will be very happy and prosperous. So yajñai sankirtana prayai yajantihi sumedasaha. That the real yajña in Kali Yuga is yajñai sankirtana prayai. Text 14. Rushayo duhudo devim indrayoshu atha sattama vatsam bruhaspratim krutva chandamayam Paschasando mayam suchihi. Translation.
All the great sages transformed Brahaspati into a calf and making the senses into pot. They milked all kinds of Vedic knowledge to purify words, mind, and hearing. Repeat. Brahaspati is the priest of the heavenly planets. Vedic knowledge was received in logical order by the great sages through Brahaspati for the benefit of human society, not only for this planet but throughout the universes. In other words, Vedic knowledge is considered one of the necessities of human society. If human society remains satisfied simply by taking grains from the planet Earth as well as other necessities for maintaining the body, society will not be sufficiently prosperous. Humanity must have food for the mind and ear as well as for the purpose of vibration. As far as transcendental vibrations are concerned, the essence of all Vedic knowledge is the Maha Mantra: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In Kali Yuga, if this Vedic mantra is chanted regularly and heard regularly by the devotional process of Shravanam Kirtanam, it will purify all societies and thus humanity will be happy both materially and spiritually.
Now next, Devata. The great sages, they turned Brahaspati into a calf and thus they milked the planet Earth, all kinds of Vedic knowledge. And what was the purpose of that Vedic knowledge? Paya Chando Mayam Shuchihi. To purify the words, minds, and hearing, they milked Mother Earth with Vedic knowledge. So now look at this. What is this means? The based on this is called as the Kalpa Vriksha or Vasundhara. Mother Earth has all different types of wealth, and whatever one is desiring for, then there is a suitable calf, and this is how they are going to receive from Mother Earth. So Brihaspati is the priest of the heavenly planets, and there is a great need of Vedic knowledge in the society. And Prabhupada says simply by these two things, receiving the Vedic knowledge and having the grains from planet Earth, one can very happily and prosperously live. Grains for body is one thing, but also one needs food for mind, ears, and a sense of vibration. So, since purpose of vibration means what we are uttering is very important. If we are uttering only, if the humanity is only uttering the filmy songs, humanity is only uttering all kinds of gossip, it will not take the life anywhere. The humanity should utter the ultimate mantra, and that is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And especially in Kali Yuga, this mantra is extremely powerful. Right? This is very, very powerful mantra. In fact, the Kali Santaran Upanishad says that Sahovacha Hiranyagarbha, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti, this Shodashaka Namnam Kali Kalmashanashanam Nato Paratar Upaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. We do not see any other upaya. Even if we scan through all the Vedas very carefully, Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate, there is no better way to attain the spiritual salvation, spiritual abode, than chanting this Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Previously, in our sport reading, whenever we used to complete, one small book, we started with small books in 2019. 1st September 2019 is when we started this reading. And almost like every 1 month, 21 days, we used to complete one book. Easy Journey to Other Planets and the other books like that, Prabhupada's other books. And after every book, we used to have a couple of days of completely dedicated to Srila Prabhupada's purport of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right. Now we started Bhagavatam, and Bhagavatam, it's such a voluminous thing that we cannot have that luxury of hearing that after every chapter. But at least after every canto, we will hear this. So there is purpose for vibration and purpose of vibration. Otherwise, people will be vibrating T20 glories, how the batsman is getting out 3 times on a duck, and how India was defeated, how India defeated somebody. Tongue needs to vibrate, and tongue will find out the subject to vibrate. And it is our duty to provide right subject to the tongue so that the right vibration takes place. And the best vibration is the vibration of the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Text 15. कृत्वा वत्सं सुरगणां सोमम् अदूतदूहनं हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण वीर्यम् ओजः बलं पयः. Translation.
All the demigods made Indra, the king of heaven, into a calf, and from the earth they mixed the beverage soma, which is nectar. Thus they became very powerful in mental speculation and bodily and sensual strength. In this verse, the word soma means nectar. Soma is a kind of beverage made in the heavenly planets from the moon to the kingdom of the demigods in the various higher planetary systems. By drinking this soma beverage, the demigods become more powerful mentally and increase their sensual power and bodily strength. The words Hiranmayena Patrena indicate that this soma beverage is not an ordinary intoxicating liquor. The demigods would not touch any kind of liquor, nor is a soma a kind of drug. It is a different kind of beverage available in the heavenly planets. Soma is far different from the liquors made for demoniac people, as explained in the next verse. Thank you.
So the demigods, they made Indra into a calf, and thus they milked the cow for milk the mother earth for the soma nectar, somaras, which is very powerful. Viryam ojam balapaya, balampaya. And this is stored in the hiranmayena patrena. Right. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that soma means nectar, and this is a very special nectar which comes from the especially the moon planet to all the planetary systems, and this is therefore called as somaras. Now, somaras should not be, sometimes these items like somaras, or there is a description of Varuni. Yesterday I had a good discussion with Neeraj with this Varuni, with Lord Balramji drinking. And these are not some ordinary intoxicants like the otherwise people have in their home bar or something like that. It is stored in the Hiranmayena Patrena, and the Soma beverage. Because if it is ordinary, the demigods will not touch it. Right. So demigod will not touch this kind of a liquor or something like that. The Soma is a kind of a drug which is intoxication in the mode of goodness. So not to call it intoxication, generally it's tamoguna, but it is such that it will do vardhana of the viryam ojam balam payah. Right. So it is very, very powerful. Text 16. Daiteya danava vatsam pralladam asura rishabham vidhaya adudhan kshiram ayah patre surasavam. Translation.
The sons of Diti and the demons transformed Prahlad Maharaj, who was born in an Ashura family, into a calf, and they extracted various kinds of liquor and beer, which they put into a pot made of iron. Purport. The demons also have their own types of beverages in the form of liquors and beers. Just as the demigods use somaras for their drinking purposes, the demons born of Diti take great pleasure in drinking wine and beer. Even today, people of demoniac nature are very much addicted to liquor and beer. The name of Prahlad Maharaj is very significant in this connection because Prahlad Maharaj was born in a family of demons as the son of Hiranyakashipu. By his mercy, the demons were and still are able to have their drinks in the form of wine and beer. The word iron is very significant. Whereas the nectarian soma was put in a golden pot, the liquors and beers were put in an iron pot. Because the liquor and beer are inferior, they are placed in an iron pot, and because somarasa is superior, it is placed in a golden pot.
So when devatas were milking like this, Danavas, Daitya literally means the sons of Diti, they were not behind. They also came forward. They was thinking, who can be made into calf? So they tricked Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad, he became the calf. But all in the return, they were asking for all kinds of different liquors and beer, which they kept in the pot of the iron. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that demons also have their own types of beverages, just like there is Somaras and Varuni for the Devata. The beer and the liquor is for Danava or Daityas. So demons are born of Diti, took pleasure in drinking wine and beer. And Prabhupada says even today, the demoniac nature, they are very much addicted to liquor and beer. So the name of Prahlad Maharaj is very significant, and it is by the mercy of Prahlad, right? By his mercy, the demons were and still able to have the drinks in the form of wine and the beer. Okay. So Prahlad Maharaj is a unique position. He's a pure devotee. He has pleased the Supreme Lord. One person, one incarnation. But because he is coming from a particular background and he's supposed to be ruling that place, he has to facilitate his citizens with what is required for them, and he did the needful. And there is a difference, Prabhupada says, whereas the previously it was stored in Hiranmayena Patrena, this is stored in Ayanaha, that is, the liquor was stored in iron pots. Text 17. We'll just take there is no purport to this. Gandharva Apsarasa Adukshan Patre Padmamaye Payah Vatsam Vishwavasum Krutva Gandharvam Madhusaubhagam. Translation?
Translation: The inhabitants of Gandharva Loka and Apsara Loka made Vishwasu into a calf, and they drew the milk into a lotus flower pot. The milk took the shape of sweet musical art and beauty. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So now the Gandharvas and the Apsara Lok. So there is a Gandharva Lok, there is a Apsara Lok. Right? And we have no access to it. Otherwise, I was thinking the other day, just imagine the two ants at the doorstep of Ambani's building Antilia, okay, at Nariman Point. And they will think, oh, some bricks are going up, some cement is going up. They have no idea that who is living there, what are the facilities, what kind of enjoyment these people have, what kind of marriage they have. Two ants are just thinking in their own understanding, similarly with the human beings. So there is Gandharva Lok, there is Apsara Lok, and they made Vishwavasu into a calf, and the milk was the sweet musical arts and the beauty. Gandharvam Madhu Saubhagam, and they stored this in Padmamaye Patre. Padmamaya Patre is the lotus flower pot. This is how they stored. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Gaura
Thank
Bhakta
you,
Vrinda ki jai.
Prabhupada. Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhupada. Thank
Hare
you, everyone.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada, thank you,
Yeah.
Thank you,
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhupada,
Krishna.
very much.